Hey guys, it's Mary and welcome to the second episode of the Sims 4 Pirates story. So thank you so much for watching, liking, and commenting on the video. It means the world to me. And it was also on that video that I found out that we're not actually getting the pack on June 25. Only the trailer, which is like so... How could I have missed that? But yeah, it says that we're gonna be getting it in July. So anyway, I'm just gonna make another LP because this is just gonna have like 10 episodes anyway. And let me just give you a recap of the previous episode. So Celestina, the only daughter of the Hastings family, found herself in a dire situation when pirates managed to breach the defenses of her family's estate and also took her hostage. So despite her initial attempts to assert her identity as a maid and her brave threat that her brothers would come to her rescue, the pirates saw her as a vulnerable and valuable bargaining chip. So the pirate leader, who we're gonna know later on, had recognized her worth and decided to just ransom her for a fortune. So she was taken aboard their ship, where she woke up in a cold, damp jail cell and feeling the effects of seasickness. And despite her fear and nausea, Celestina resolved to stay strong and find a way to escape, relying on her wits and courage to survive until her brothers could really come to her rescue. And if you do like this series, do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't, because that would really help out my channel a lot. And now let's get into the story. So Celestina had spent the next few hours listening intently to the sounds of the ship and trying to gather as much information as she could. So far, she has not noticed anyone get in here, and she noticed that the ship was bustling with activity. Just not here though, she could just hear it because there's loud ass music of all things. Like they're having fun upstairs while she rots in her cell. They're eating meat, having the time of their life, but she doesn't know this. But while the merriment is going on, two people are currently arguing in the captain's quarters. So the quartermaster, Argus, he is like the captain's second in command, is losing his mind about how big of a problem the Captain Felix had gotten them into. You see, they loot, they steal, they may like to burn a few places every now and then, or kill people, but they do not harm women and children. Especially if a woman is of a good social standing, whose family is supported by the royal family and has enough resources to chase them all across the world. So Captain Felix, a tall, imposing man with a calm demeanor, is not so calm right now. He may look like he's angry, but I was planning to make him so unfazed by Argus's outburst and asked Argus to calm down and explain that that's the reason why she's valuable in the first place. The ransom that they will get for her will really set them up for life. And to which Argus asked him also what would happen when her brother would come after them with a royal fleet. Felix is putting them all at risk for his greed, which is true and a valid take, but I don't think Felix sees it because he says that we'll just deal with that when the time comes, and it's not like they will be foolish enough to do shit when they know one wrong move can kill her. Argus just shook his head in disbelief and just told him that he's playing with fire and it could be the end of us all, but he insists that he's doing the right thing and that he reminds him that he's the captain and this is his ship, this is his decision, and if he has a problem with it, he knows where the door is. So Argus glared at him but said nothing more. He stormed out of the captain's quarters, joining the others and their little meal together. The crew asked him about what had happened, like what were they arguing about. They really are pestering him, but he just stayed silent, which is like, yeah, I could not do that. If that were me in his shoes, I would just blab. I would just complain and complain. But this man, he's got the patience of the saint, I guess. So he didn't really say anything to keep the peace, and also he doesn't really want to disrespect his friend or defy him even more because they're friends and also he's their captain. But anyway, back in her cell, Celestina continued to listen, like her mind working furiously again. She wanted to just stay up, but then she's also really tired, like she's been seasick all day. So as the hours passed and the ship's activity began to quiet down, Celestina could feel her eyelids growing like they're shutting down. They're She's really sleepy, is what I mean to say. So as much as she wanted or she needed to find a way to turn the situation to her advantage, she couldn't, and she succumbed to a very uncomfortable sleep. So you guys know that I record in chunks, right? So upon recording this part, I already graduated college. Which is I'm so happy about because I'm officially graduated, but also at the same time I'm officially unemployed. But really, I have interviews lined up and I'm also about to take an exam for my license in September, so please include me in your prayers because I need it. Like, I'm so stupid, actually. But anyway, let's get back to this because the morning sun filtered through the small barred window of the cell, casting faint beams of light across the damp floor, and Celestina jolted awake to the sound of someone mopping the deck just outside her cell. So the rhythmic swishing noise was just jarring after the relative quiet of the night. So she sat up, her surprise quickly giving way to a fierce glare at the source of the jarring sound, and she doesn't even want to look at him because she's so pissed. And a young crew member, probably not older than her, was swabbing the floor with a mop, of course, and he quickly went away because he wanted to tell the others that the prisoner is awake. Like, what do we do with her? So the young man's name is Frederick, and he also saw a pot of soup that was cooked and thought that maybe he should take some to the prisoner because she has not been fed for like the entire day yesterday. And Lauren also has a cute pet snake named Eve. And Lauren just laughs and laughs because she says that a rich snob wouldn't possibly be able to stomach the slop that she had made. And Frederick, bless his soul, says that her food is delicious and there's no need for her to be self-conscious. She is not. He just misunderstood her sarcasm because he's such a cute Pookie. And by the way, Pookie really feels weird to say because it means vagina in my language. So if you call someone Pookie, that means you're calling someone vagina. So he walked back to the cell and just placed this food down here. It's kind of like a potato-y soup. Yes, a potato soup. So here's what happened. Frederick pushed the bowl of the potato soup on the floor on the little wedge that they've got, like the little area wherein they can slip their hand or anything big. Oh my gosh, what? But yeah, so he told her that he had brought her something to eat, and Celestina took the bowl, but with disgust marring her face. Like, her stomach growled. Yes, it did. Like, it responded to the warmth, but her nose also responded to the smell because what the hell is that? And also, her pride and distrust outweighed her hunger. Like, she decided to just not even touch the bowl. And she told him, I don't want your food. And Frederick, like this kind soul, just looked taken aback. Like, he's saying that, I know it's not much, but you need to keep your strength up. But no, she's not gonna trust anything given to her by her captors and even ask him to just take it away. But Frederick just sighed looking at the bowl and insisted that she needed something warm to consume. It has been a day since she had eaten anything. So Frederick just left the food right there and he glanced at her one last time before hurrying back to his duties with a sense of unease settling in his stomach. So he knew he needed to report what had happened to Felix and Argus. And so he did. He relayed everything to his captain and quartermaster. Like, he brought some food to the prisoner, and now they're here. They're just looking at her while she sleeps in the jail cell. Here they see the potato soup, or the slop, whatever you call it. Celestina also lying on the cold, hard floor, trying to find some sleep. And Felix and Argus stood outside her cell, silently observing her as she slept. And Felix crossed his arms, like his expression a mix of frustration and what you can call curiosity. And I guess all this talking made her wake up. Like, she shifted slightly, causing a small noise that caused everyone else's attention. She just refused to address them, even if they said that they wanted to eat and it's in your best interest to stay healthy. But she stubbornly refused again and said, why should I trust anything that you will give me? And Argus stepped closer, his expression sincere, and he said that we need you alive and you're more valuable to us that way, and refusing to eat is only harming yourself. Seeing as she would not spare them a glance and would not eat despite how many times they have reasoned out, the two decided to spar at the ship's main deck. And for the second time this week, Argus told him while their swords clash that it is really a bad idea to keep her a prisoner. But Felix's expression only hardened slightly and told him that she's our ticket to a hefty ransom. And they cannot really afford to let her go, not now. And they're gonna discover that she's gone anyways, and also they're gonna discover his letter, the one that he left. So they're still gonna discover she's gone, and they're still gonna hunt them down, so they might as well get some money from it. Argus, he cannot believe that his captain is going still with his plan, and he asks like at what cost. Like, we've already seen how stubborn she is, and if she refuses to even eat and to even cooperate, it could jeopardize everything. So Felix pressed his advantage, forcing Argus to step back briefly and said that they will make her see reason. But his tone is saying that he, the captain himself, will make her see reason. That if she will not eat willingly, they will just find other ways to ensure her compliance. So as the duel between Captain Felix and Quartermaster Argus reached its conclusion, it was no surprise to the crew that Felix emerged victorious. His skill with the sword was renowned among the crew only by his ruthless determination to maintain order and control aboard the ship. But he still acknowledged that it was a well-fought training sesh, even if they were using like these real swords. And look at him steering this thing. He is just a baby. Now we see another person or another crewmate basically just checking in on her, and she discovered that she did not eat any of the soup that was prepared for her. So she told Lauren about it, and Lauren did not really care. She does not care one bit. She's just here to flirt. Excuse me, that's her girlfriend. Yes, of course, that's her girlfriend. They look so good together. And yeah, you might think that this outfit is not historically accurate or anything like that, but she is so sexy and she looks so good. I do not care. I think I told you guys already on the previous episode that I do not really care for historical accuracy and all that stuff. I mean, it's great that, yeah, there are CCs that can make that happen, but I'm also giving this some supernatural elements, and you're gonna see that on the future episodes. Regarding this, they're just going to be playing, or they're just playing right now, because that's what they do in the ship. They have some fun, and they have a lot of fun, and ransack and kidnap people, I guess. So Freda sought out Argus in private because she does want to speak with him, because yeah, this is not normal. The potential consequences is already felt by some of the other members. It just weighed heavily on first their conscience, and they worry for their safety. So she's choosing her words carefully, saying she's refusing to eat, and she had seen it with her own eyes, and she's going to be weakening by the day. I don't think it needs a genius to be able to figure that out, but his expression remains unreadable. So Freda offers some advice, like maybe try better food, or maybe we just need to force her hand. Let's find a way to make her see reason. Maybe threaten her more directly, or offer her something she can't refuse. Or you know what? I actually have something. I know a way to make her, you know, do my bidding for a certain time. Argus really took one look at her and told her not to tell Felix about it. About the last thing that she said. Felix is just impulsive, he is mad, not even gonna deny that. But despite this all, Captain Felix has their respect. He commanded his ship with an air of authority and unpredictability that made him both respected and feared among his crew. He is tall and imposing, with a weather-beaten face marked by years at sea, with a commanding presence that demanded attention, and he has a volatile nature. But he's also charismatic and capable of rallying his crew with stirring speeches and bold actions. Like, he led by example, often at the forefront of battles or risky maneuvers, instilling a sense of loyalty and admiration among those who serve under him. However, beneath this tough exterior, Felix just harbored ambitions that drove him relentlessly forward, and he wouldn't even care or bat an eyelash if what he's doing is wrong, because the promise of riches and glory on the high seas just fueled his desire to secure ransoms and plunder, and to make himself like a formidable adversary to those unfortunate enough to cross paths with his ship. And did I tell you guys already what his ship's name is? I feel like I did not. Oh my god, I cannot believe I have not told you guys about this, but this ship's name is Wave Breaker, and Felix just prioritized the survival and success of the ship and crew above all else, willing to make difficult decisions even at the cost of moral compromise. So, in essence, Captain Felix is a complex figure. He is a man driven by ambition and a desire for control, tempered by moments of surprising compassion and strategic insight. So, his presence in the ship is like shaping both the fortunes and fates of people who sailed under his command. And that includes Celestina. So despite being so unreasonable, they like him as a leader. They respect him a lot. So yeah, that's just Felix, and I hope you guys find him cute as well because I do. Oh my gosh, this man, I need him in my life. Okay, so yeah, they're just also gonna have some dinner, which is like consisting of fish and I don't know, I don't know what it is, but yeah, they're just sitting also, and Argus is kind of whispering to him like, "What if you would bring some fish to our prisoner? It's much better than the slop that Lauren cooked. 1,000 leagues better than the slop that Lauren cooked." And he is considering it, and eventually he relents. But not without complaining, because this ungrateful little shit. How dare she? So, upon reaching Celestina's cell, Felix paused for a moment and just observed her through the bars. Like she was still asleep, her figure slightly pale, and it's obvious that hunger had taken its toll, leaving her weaker than before. So Felix, he unlocked the door and stepped inside, and Felix set the tray of food down the floor, thinking that she was still asleep. However, as he rose to leave, he noticed a shadow moving out the corner of his eye. His instincts were too late though, and when he turned around, it was just in time to receive a swift kick to the crotch. While Felix was still reeling in pain, she managed to run away, and she ran away so fast. But as she scanned her surroundings, looking for any possible means of escape, she found none. Which makes sense because the ship is in the middle of the ocean. So her eyes fell on the edge of the deck, the railing standing between her and the open sea. And it was a dangerous leap, but she had no other choice. She took a deep breath and leaped overboard. The crewmates could only stare in shock as she plunged into the ocean, and Felix, he thought that his prize, his treasure, was slipping away. He also jumped overboard after her. And you know what? Thankfully, the skies are clear and the moon is bright tonight. So Argus makes his plans to rescue the both of them. Although he is out of frame, Argus commanded to lower the ropes and to get them up here now. And in here, they finally argue. So she asks, like, "You think you can just take me and hold me for ransom?" Like her voice was filled with defiance despite her exhaustion, her hunger, and the cold water, of course. Seething from the attack earlier, just glared at her and tells her that she's a spoiled brat and she doesn't understand how this works. His voice was low and dangerous, saying that her family's money is the only thing keeping her alive right now. And she asks about, like, what about honor? And he sarcastically laughed because he had seen men of honor commit atrocities that you can't even imagine. Out here, honor won't keep you alive, but money will. As his eyes locked on hers, he tells her that you need to understand something. Just cooperate with us. Because he doesn't want to send her back to her brothers in pieces. They just want the ransom. And once they have it, she'd be free to go. And she scoffed, like, "You just told me you had no value for honor." And he goes, "Well then, I give you my word as captain of the ship. I have no interest in harming you, but I do need that ransom." So Celestina's heart pounded in her chest, a mixture of fear and determination. She knew she had to be careful to choose her battles wisely. And thus, she relented. She said, "Fine, I'll cooperate. For now. But don't think for a moment that I've given up." They both knew this was a temporary truce, like a fragile agreement between the both of them that could shatter at any moment. But for now, it was enough to keep the situation under control. And thus, at this point, you guys, I'll be ending off this episode right here. Please tell me what you think about this one on the comments below. Do give it a like and subscribe also if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye!